Hi, my name's Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm an author, speaker, and success coach who helps women believe in themselves, build confidence, and take action. In 2009, my husband Ryan and I were laid off at the same time, and we moved to the Florida Keys without jobs, not knowing anyone, hardly any money, and we never even been here, but we made it. And now, not every day is sunshine and rainbows, but we're living our best lives. And all along in our journey, I've always said that someday when we get our shit together, we will help others. So each week, my intent is to be relatable and bring you tactical tips, tools, share my learnings and stories that can help inspire or transform you wherever you are in your career or general life and make an impact. I strongly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. So what's stopping you? Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet, and I have my gorgeous co-host, Sienna, with me today. Welcome, Sienna.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing good. Great, actually. It's August.
Yes, happy August.
And I just saw you a couple weeks ago.
Yes, that was fun.
I know, it was really fun. What was your favorite part about going to Sedona?
My favorite part was definitely the Jeep tours that we took.
Yeah, that was cool, right?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, I was just telling your uncle last night about the plants. We were watching Naked and Afraid on the Discovery Channel, and they were trying to get fish from the waters in the Bahamas, and I kept saying, eat the trees, eat the plants. It just made me think of our guide and how he had so much really cool plant information to share with us.
Yeah.
Wasn't that neat?
That was really cool.
He said he was really doing a diligent job of studying all the plants and was really learning, like, you can just live off the land.
Right. I thought that was interesting how you could never die of starvation because of all of the plants around.
Yeah. It was things we take for granted, right?
Yeah.
However, that one plant had poisonous berries, so that would not be so good. Remember that one?
Wait, which one?
Yeah, at the gorgeous top. It was kind of like a top of a hill that looked down onto the golf course.
Oh, okay.
When we were getting back into the Jeep, there was like kind of like a low shrub that had little flowers and little berries. Were you standing there when he was talking about that?
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he was like...
But he was talking about like how none of the animals or bugs would go near it.
Mm-hmm. And he said that's the number one sign is if there's no little animals or bugs near it, don't go near it. I was like, that's really good advice.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. So now it's been a year since we've been podcasting together. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's been an amazing journey. And I thought that in celebration of our journey together, that we would share just how we've evolved in this year. And I know you and I talked about this as a topic a few days ago, and I know you have some ideas. So I'm just going to kick it off to you for you to share whatever you feel like sharing.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I'm going to start with my work journey. Throughout this past year, I have been working a lot more, and one of the biggest lessons I have learned through just working has been that complaining honestly brings you nowhere and it makes you feel worse about yourself.
And
I would say it's very strong throughout when I worked at the pizzeria because there was so many customers coming in one by one, and I used to complain all the time and be really upset about it, but I realized that would only make myself and the whole situation worse.
And were you complaining because you were just too busy? Like, what was
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And were other people around you also complaining?
For the most part, yes.
Mm-hmm. And how did that impact you?
Well, when another person complains, usually the other person around them will start to do so.
Right, exactly. So you're just like in the environment, right?
Right.
So what can you do about that? Because that's very common. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's, there used to be, I haven't heard it in a long time. So that's why I said used to be, but there's a saying, misery loves company. Have you ever heard that saying before?
I've never heard that.
Yeah. So, I haven't heard it in a long time, but it used to be a very popular saying. I don't even know when. I'm kind of testing my memory banks here as I talk. And it kind of made it like it was okay to complain with other people. Like it was fine. Like it was normal. Like it was acceptable. Like you'd go out to lunch with coworkers and you'd sit and, bitch about the boss. Like that was a very normal, I guess you could say, quote unquote, way to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't serve anybody.
Right.
So I guess if you aren't happy, what do you end up doing?
My advice and what I have done when I catch myself complaining, such as yesterday while working, is I tell myself complaining is not going to do anything but make myself feel worse. So instead of complaining, why not just suck it up and do what you're supposed to do?
Were you able to change your mindset when you did that?
Yeah. Yeah. And it feels so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And what is the one thing that you ended up doing a few months ago to kind of change up the situation?
A few months ago, I honestly would do about the same thing. I mean, just be patient, especially because throughout the pizzeria, since it was so busy, there was so many rushes, especially on weekend nights.
Mm-hmm.
And it was overwhelming. It was honestly very overwhelming, but I knew that complaining wasn't going to do anything but make myself feel even more overwhelmed. So I just had to take a deep breath and keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you ended up changing. You ended up going back to your old job.
I did, yes. And it's much better. It's much better.
Yeah.
I will not lie.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to just be like, okay,
Change.
I can't change this, right?
Right.
So maybe there's another solution.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah. No, that's really good. What else you got for us?
The other lesson that is very, very big throughout this past year has been accepting my emotions. I feel as if throughout my sophomore year of school, it was a very hard task for me to do. I didn't enjoy doing it because sometimes emotions can be rough. Sometimes you don't want to feel them, especially when they're harder to accept. And so I pushed them away and I didn't accept them. But what I realized throughout this spring was that, and this summer actually, is that accepting your emotions feels so much better because you're letting them out and they have something to tell you. So when you listen to them, you can find the solution to your problem.
So what are some emotions that you feel like you have to deal with on a regular basis? I'm kind of putting it that way.
Sometimes it's anger.
You get angry? What do you get angry at?
I can get very angry sometimes.
What do you get angry at?
I can just, I mean, I don't know. I really, like, now that I think about it, I can't even think about, like, it doesn't come to my mind.
All right, you're going to have to circle back with me on that one because you just
yeah.
away. Give me another one.
I have to be honest. I can't even think of any right now.
See?
I'm not really.
Spirit took it away from you.
Yes.
Have you ever had that happen?
Not really.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. The first time I ever realized it could happen, this is a fascinating story. I don't know if I have this in a book. I'd have to look. But, and I know we're segueing here, but it's just like was an eye-opening experience. I had a session with a hypnotherapist, and I had wanted to see if I had any money blocks. And during the hypnotherapy, it came up that I did. And so then the next day when I woke up and I was thinking about the session, I was like, oh, I wonder what the money block was. Well, this is the perfect place to take a moment and share something with you that has been truly transformational. And I am so excited to share about this. If you have been listening to me for a while, you may have likely noticed that I have never promoted someone else's course or program on either of my podcasts. So as my breadcrumb following stories go, the other day on my walk, I asked the universe, what could I offer that would be beneficial to share and also something that I know I could get behind because it has really helped me over the years? And voila, the universe delivered. And it popped into my brain to share with you about Money Mentality Makeover, which is the premier, in my opinion, money course from the original money queen herself, Amanda Frances. Yes, super cool, amazing idea. I actually share a very transformative story about having a side hustle and some money mind loops I was experiencing in my book, Life and Love Lessons, How to Discover Confidence Through Your Spiritual Journey. But I have never shared anything about it on this podcast. So Money Mentality Makeover is truly one of my very favorite courses. Amanda is amazing, and her course actually has the original modules from when she first started. It's bananas. She is so legit. You can follow her and embody her journey, which I have found to be, again, so transformative. I first took her course in the spring of 2019, so it has been over 3 years, and I have listened to this course from the beginning, start to finish, many times. So I put the affiliate link in the show notes, and I highly recommend you to check it out. And it's really important to also know there's a payment plan, which I did when I first bought the course way back when. So again, it's the only course I have taken time and time again when I need a money mindset tweak or a refresher. Her courses in general, this is one of the biggest, but I have some of her smaller bite-sized courses too. They have so many codes and things that will resonate with you when you need it. That's how it works, people. Yes, codes come through when you need it, whether it's a course or a podcast or a book. Always keep that in mind and go back and refresh. And this is one of those courses to do that with. So check it out. Most importantly, have fun on your manifestation journey. It's a journey, and it's really important to have fun in the process. Now back to the podcast. So I called the hypnotherapist because at the time we were friends. And I said, hey, do you remember what the block was? And I had left her a message, and then she called me back like maybe an hour later, and she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I cannot remember either. So I asked Archangel Michael, and they came, Source came back saying, well, we took it away from you and away from Melinda because why do you want to remember it? Because it'll bring it back. And I was like, oh yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Isn't that wild? It's true.
Yeah.
I had something not too long ago happen that I know Source took something away from me so I wouldn't have to deal with something. And yeah, so anyhow, so maybe your thought left you because you're supposed to leave it be, right?
Right.
So what else do you want to share? Sorry, got on a tangent there.
You're good. That happened for a reason.
Yeah.
I would say another big one for this summer is I've always heard this saying, but I never really applied it to my life until this summer, and it's you attract how you act.
Mm.
And I really learned that this summer through a book. I cannot remember the name. It's like you sent it to me. It was this book
Deepak
that you sent to
Chopra's
me.
book?
Yes.
Yeah, Seven Spiritual Laws of Success.
Yes.
Your favorite book?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout that book, I've learned that when you put forth negativity, this goes hand in hand with complaining as well. When you put forth negativity, anger, complaining, whatever emotion you're feeling, you're going to get that back essentially because you're just thinking about it constantly.
Right. You're manifesting that, right?
Right.
Because people forget that manifesting isn't just good stuff. It's bad stuff too, or things you don't want in your life. Technically we shouldn't use good or bad, but whatever. For context, here we are. So yeah. Right.
Right.
You end up bringing more negativity.
And that goes like a lot with my anxiety. And it's hard getting out of that because once it starts, it can just spiral down even further. And you have to like ground yourself and be present to say, no, you're just manifesting that negativity. You're manifesting that anxiety because you keep saying, this is wrong, something bad's going to happen. And you have to snap yourself out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everything goes back to our thoughts, right? Everything. Right. Everything goes back to being very, very right brain versus left brain. And you just brought up where I was going to go with what you had said about just yesterday. You were, having some challenges, and that is that this is all a journey, right?
Right.
And just because and I'm just using this as an example for people out there, right, as they're listening to this. So just because you had these hindsights, like I have hindsights as well, that doesn't mean I'm perfect in execution, right? Just like you admitted, you still didn't, 100%, let's say, walk the walk. Like you were like,
right.
Yesterday, right? So it's always a journey to get better, to, not have the feelings or the thoughts, like to shift them. And the faster you get is just the work over time. And eventually, like, it's just either doesn't happen or such a blip that you just, move right through it. You shifted away from listening to people bitch and complain at work and you just left the room. You are so present that you're like, you know what? I'm just going to leave the room right now and let them bitch and complain, but I'm going to go over here. So it's all choices,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to share? These are really, really, really good. And I think that they're things that people can apply to what they have going on in their own life, right?
Right. The last one that I wrote down in my notebook was about confidence. And I'm just noticing this now. I didn't notice this earlier, but all of these things actually kind of connect with each other. When you put forth confidence, even if you don't know the outcome of the situation, it's going to work in your favor automatically if you put forth confidence.
Mm-hmm. If you believe, right?
Right.
If you believe, and often believing without evidence. Like when I think about all the things that your uncle and I have accomplished, I believed with every ounce of my soul that things would work out, that your uncle would be a successful charter boat captain, that I would be a really great sales rep. Now I'm a coach. Like, I believed all those things without evidence, and I held that confidence. And that's what is really important. And that's a journey too,
Right.
you know? Because some days you feel confident and some days you don't.
Exactly.
So confidence is such a big topic. I think it's an underrated topic, or how should I put this? Underexplored in terms of how deep it really is, and the deep work that everyone really has to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I dare say that no one's ever completely perfect, because little things pop up, like,
Right.
the like little things that can take you off your railroad tracks. And it's just that's a journey too, just like understanding your feelings. And you're right, it all does go hand in hand. It's like a big web, right?
Yeah.
How's that
That's
spider? Funny. P.S. How's that spider?
That is funny because I was gonna talk about that actually.
Oh yeah, tell me.
So I don't really like spiders by my bed. I just don't like it, but I allowed that. There was a spider, for context, there was a spider by my window well, by my plants and crystals, and it just sat there the whole day. I was like, oh, okay.
It's pretty big, right?
Yes, it was huge.
And it's black. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't, like, before I went to bed, I told my mom, I don't want that in my bed. So we put it outside.
Oh, she helped you
Yeah.
save it and get it outside.
Yeah. I did not want that by my bed when I was sleeping.
Yeah. How did you guys get it out of the house?
We just put it in a cup.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was one on my door yesterday, and then there was a huge one, like humongous one outside by Lucky yesterday.
Wow.
And I was like, I almost stepped on it because I didn't see it.
Why are you getting all these big spiders all of a sudden?
The one yesterday was big too, like in my room.
Wow.
I'm like, it's a little scary. I don't want them on my bed.
Yeah, I don't want you to get bit, but that's really kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yes. We put that one outside, but unfortunately, the one yesterday by my door had to be killed because Jake was there and not my mom.
Oh, so Jake wanted to kill it?
Yeah.
Why didn't
I felt so bad.
Yeah, why didn't Jake listen to you and just put it in a cup?
Well, no, he was like, no.
Aw, Jake.
I know, it was poor spider.
Oh, yeah, seriously. I try not to kill any spiders either.
I feel bad doing it.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, all right. Well, gotta get happy again here. We'll change up the mood again. Anything else you want to share, Sienna?
No, what about you?
What about me? I would say the confidence thing has been a huge journey in terms of really understanding, and this is all the work that goes on in your head, understanding where I've had wobbles, and really like getting clear on that, and really understanding how I feel and how other people make me feel, and then not accepting it. Just being like, no, you know what? I'm not going to accept this. And then, figuring out what to do about it. Is it always perfect scenario? No. But I think that is a huge piece of the journey. And like I said earlier, like, we never get everything perfect.
Right.
It's not meant to be that. And I also think letting go of that too. And that was a big thing that kind of hit me over the head a little bit ago was, why would I think that everything has to be perfect? Like, why would I think that? So that's a piece of it too. So yeah, Yeah, I would say that, and just trying a bunch of new things. And not that this is news to me, but I had a really great year. Like if I look at this as a year in terms of like following breadcrumbs, I think that's my favorite thing always is letting it go. Like we do not need to hustle, 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 hustle. The universe is working behind the scenes to align the most perfect things. And yes, you need to do some work and take action, but you don't need to drive yourself into the ground like a freakazoid. And there's just so many like amazing things that can happen for you if you just really trust and know that things can happen. And I had a year of that. Like I just really had a year of like some really cool, like little magical miracle things happening, some bigger than others. And things just always work out.
That's great.
Always work out. Like it's just amazing. So I continue to trust and just build upon that. When I get a little wobbly, I remember, you know what? This all worked out for me before and it's going to work out again. So the universe has
right.
back,
That's an amazing mindset.
Mm-hmm. The universe has our back. So anyhow, well, I love chatting with you. We went a little all over the board with this one. But that is because it's our podcast and I'm confident enough to say that we can talk about whatever we want and we hope that people like it. And if not, well, all right, moving on. So anyhow, and we're both working on our book.
Yes.
Yay. So that is coming out. And what we talked about is having some bits and pieces be released on Medium as we're writing to kind of, I guess you could say tease or get people excited along the way. So stay tuned for that because I know that's on my to-do list. And actually
that's on mine as well. Thank you so much for having me. As always, I am so, so grateful to be on here.
Oh, we are so grateful to have you. I love you so much. And
I love you too.
I hope you have an awesome month. Yay.
You as well.
All right. Bye.
Bye.